Hello friends, and welcome to Meteorite Woman channel on YouTube. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Here's the story. I don't think that earthquakes actually come from deep within the earth. I think they come from on high. I think that asteroids and comets cause earthquakes. The big nasty ones, like the one in Turkey, are caused by comets because they generally move a lot faster. And over the past year, I have accumulated an enormous amount of supporting evidence and documentation that my hypothesis is actually correct. I was trying to prove it incorrect so that I could just move on with my life. I never had any aspirations to be a YouTuber, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do it because I've uncovered some things that I need other people to look at and judge, because I think that something else is going on entirely than what we are told. Let's just say the Green Comet, a piece of the Green Comet hit the Earth's atmosphere and it vaporized immediately. Law of conservation of mass. It says matter can change from solid to liquid to vapor and back through chemical reactions, through changes in pressure, through changes in temperature, and it's not going to lose any mass. So a comet that vaporizes as soon as it enters the atmosphere is still a comet moving at many thousand times the speed of sound toward the surface of Earth. Vaporization does not equal neutralization. Vaporization, what happens with ice and water when you turn it into a vapor? Well, it becomes like a mist, right? So vaporization means it's not exactly invisible, but more than likely it's going to be transparent, or at least translucent. It's going to be superheated. There may even be like photons and X-rays and microwaves and radio waves and things that the human eye cannot even detect, that are happening in an earthquake. I also believe that these gases are it's not just gases. There's maybe some solid left over, maybe not, but there can be some solid left over, but traveling through the atmosphere, especially the ionosphere, something happens, becomes ionized, which means they get an electric charge, these gases. So as and then they're barreling towards Earth at many times the speed of sound. So they're kind of invisible. I mean, if you don't know that there are gases moving in the atmosphere, then you wouldn't know to look for them, you wouldn't see them. And moving several thousand times the speed of sound, they're not only invisible, but they're also silent. And that creates the illusion. It's almost like sleight of hand. It's very clever. Remember that about the energized particles, electricity, magnetism. These reign supreme in the world of meteorites because they are interacting magnetically and electrically with planet Earth. This is what I believe, and here's just a little bit of evidence in support of that as I build a great body of evidence. So as a treat, I actually found this intersection on Google Earth. There's the sign you're seeing lit up. But an old neon sign with the tubing, you know, with the gases in glass tubes. That's how they work. And down here, just a little past it, there are a bunch of, here I'll show you, because you're going to see these light up. And that's how I know that this isn't coming from underneath the ground. When I saw this footage, I just blew my mind. So, okay, you see these are the lights that you're going to see get really, really bright in the video. And just for a little bit of extra information, I looked up what gases are in neon signs. They contain neon, mercury vapor, argon, helium, xenon, krypton. So there's that. And helium, neon, and argon in meteorites, a data collection. So I'm not going to go through this paper, just showing you that these are known to contain these gases. They are most likely the original source of these gases on Earth. First thing I want you to notice is that everything's on right now, okay? The cab driver's coming. We're watching this in 25% playback speed. Now, as the cab driver drives by, the power goes out. There it goes. Everything gets dark, except some power is still on. This one's bright. These lights are out. These lights are out. Back here, these are the signs that I showed you. They're slightly behind this here. So I can only imagine that this light has gas in it, and this one has either a different kind of gas or something. It's some kind of different, because only the electricity is out. There is electricity flowing through the air, or some kind of the ionization, the high energy particles that are beaming on this spot of Earth right now are lighting up these signs. It's not an electric current being provided by the power company that's lighting these right now. The gases inside of them are responding to the atmospheric changes. And if you look, you can see it's almost like you're looking through a bubble of gas right here. There's like distortion in the picture. Do you see what I'm saying? It looks kind of weird and melty around here, where everything else looks natural and normal. The blinking light, by the way, that means that's an indication of distress. It's a distress signal. Watch this power line. We're not shaking yet. There's no earthquake yet. Power's out. Why? No apparent reason. Nothing's shaking. But this thing is like a jump rope up and down because it's highly conductive. It's moving through the air with these, whatever energy is coming down. It's really going crazy now. And now the ground starts to shake when this thing is just going bananas. That's not from the shaking of the ground. That is because there's a surge coming through here right now. And look how bright this thing gets. And these lights. I think pretty soon you're gonna, okay, it goes out. But these stay on, interestingly. And they get brighter and brighter and brighter. And then this lights up again. And then it explodes. And you see all the gas from inside it. Now, it's not shaking that hard yet. So it exploded not because of the shaking. And then these now explode. It's because of the amount of energy being focused on that spot right now. Insane. it's like pulsing, like, ugh. This here is the front of this building. Let's pause. Let's go back to our... It's so one of these apartments. Now this side of it is coming down, as this window is just... Now watch, as the building comes down, okay, I get there's snow on top, but it's way more snow than should be up on top of that building. And then it opens up, and it's just like plasma. And you see the gases moving. And you see this, there's not a lot of shaking happening at the moment. This thing is going bananas again. This looks like a spaceship. I don't even know. The front of it was over here before. Now it's way back here. This light explodes. It didn't happen in the shaking. It happened in this energy surge right now. More shaking. You can see whatever it is, it's pushing, it's manipulating this debris. Now they pan the camera. We're looking at this camera right here. One of these two. I'm guessing this one. It's someone had control to pan it, or it could be one of these. I'm guessing maybe someone from inside the hotel was doing that. I looked these up. These are both, again, the neon signs with the gases running through them that are lit. Oh, is it our cab driver friend again? I think it might be. Hey dude, you okay? Now, this is the hotel. And you see these lights reflecting in their front window. Here's the front window. I think it's this one. And as you see, directly across the street is this over here. It's a mosque. Now you see the mosque was lit up. We just saw a blink of the lights. The mosque was lit up across the street. Again, this area shouldn't have power. Now look, nothing's really shaking that bad right now, but that mosque, these lights are like jumping up and down. Then we start to get some shaking. And here we see this man, he comes running out. Like he's running for his life. I thought he was running out because he was afraid the building was going to collapse. But actually, he came running out because of what he saw happening across the street. Now this is shaking very violently. You're going to see him again in a minute. He shows up back in the frame. Look at all of this bright light. I don't know what this would look like to the human eye because cameras can pick up some wavelengths that eyeballs can't. But, I mean, just look at this. Look at it. And keep in mind that this is a mosque. Look at, this man has his arms up. He is beholding something unbelievable. They both stand here in awe. Look at this thing. They're not running for their lives. Now this guy, he's not falling. He gets down. He climbs down on his knees because he's witnessing something so he's having a moment. Watch. Just keep watching. Be right in. Here it comes. Right back here. Super bright, super bright, super bright, and then here it comes. Here's what the mosque looks like today. Here's how it looked. As it was lit up, that man in the hotel must have seen, it must have looked like the glory of God. He came booking out of there like the place was on fire, and then he just knelt down next to this building. It must have been an amazing thing to behold. Take a look at the top of that. Does that not look like it was crushed? I don't see shaking. Shaking, you'd have like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess the tops could topple over, but this really speaks to an impact of some sort. To me, anyway. That's heat and smash. That's not shake. Shaking didn't do that. Notice something weird is happening. Do you hear that? It's coming closer. It's gases. Did you see the bright flash? When it gets bright like day out. Whoosh. Several times. What is that? And then the snow. Snow, further evidence that this is coming through the atmosphere first, then hitting the ground. Changes in the upper atmosphere occurring first. Ground's not shaking. Look at how the snow is moving. It's like flying in circles. Where that mosque was taken down, that was over here. I highlighted the biggest earthquakes from that day. It was in the line of fire. And in the video we just watched. And so that's where that one was. These were both pretty far from the main quakes, and you can see that there was a lot going on even there. They didn't experience anything like the people did who were right in the heart of it. I did a list of earthquakes that happened in Turkey starting on February 1st because that was the date that the Green Comet made its closest approach to Earth. There was just one little one on February 3rd. The next time Turkey heard a thing was the Big Mama. And that was on the 5th, a few hours before midnight. Now we're going to look at the Green Comets orbit diagram. We're in one of NASA's websites, Jet Propulsion Laboratory. This is the official name of the Green Comet. And here's the orbit diagram. I have it set here to January 25th of this year, because that's the day that I believe Earth began to pull some loose debris off of this comet. Two things you need to understand about comets are that they move much faster than asteroids. Some comets can move over 1,000,000 miles an hour. Many of them are more in the 100 to 300,000 miles an hour range. And asteroids are more they're more under 50,000 miles per hour, and they can get down into the lower tens. So comets are moving very fast. I think that the Earth, so I already mentioned magnetism. I believe Earth is magnetically drawing pieces of, the other thing that you need to know about comets is that they leave a whole lot of debris in their wake. I call them the cockroaches of the solar system, because they leave like a trail of caca behind them everywhere they go. And we know this because we encounter these trails every year, and those we experience as meteor showers. That's one manifestation. Another manifestation are earthquakes. Obviously, there's much more power being deposited into Earth. Now, this is the day I believe that Earth took over pieces that came loose, pieces of comet caca. I believe Earth began to pull them magnetically towards Earth. And so if you take that distance, now AU, we know that, 1 AU equals 93 million miles. That's the distance from the Earth to the Sun. I'm just going to tell you the math. You can follow along, or you don't have to if you don't care. If you multiply 93 million miles by 0.382 AU, that will give you the amount of miles between the comet and Earth on January 25th. Then you divide it by how fast it's moving, miles per hour. And then you take that answer, and because that gives you the number of hours it'll take. And you take that answer and you divide it by 24. And it comes out to 11. 11 days for this thing to get here, if Earth took it over at this point. 11 days from January 25th happens to be February 5th. February 5th is the day that this hit. And the big one hit first, followed by lots of aftershocks. Now those aftershocks are further impacts of the same body. This first one was really nasty. This is the outline of the whole thing. They're showing you. This is the contour of the impact of the earthquake. I call it impact because that's really what it is. Look, this must have clipped us on a really narrow angle. For it to make that shape. So that's where I'm going to leave it for the Green Comet and the Turkey earthquake. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. This is what I believe. And you are free to think what you want. I am very interested to hear what your thoughts are about this, and I will be making other videos regarding other major earthquakes, tying them into other comet visitations the way I did with this one. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were fascinated and riveted. And I will keep working to bring you some more of these videos with original information that you're not going to hear anywhere else on YouTube. Have a great day, and I will get another video out to you as soon as possible.